I know this is going to be a hot take, but the split ender is awesome. Just the tiniest bit. Wow. Let me tell you why. This is my mannequin Mary. Yes, that's actually her name. She's got it tattooed on her neck. Clearly, she needs some help. There are techniques for removing split ends within a haircut. Of course, there's an easy technique for removing split ends on the end of a haircut. That's just snipping them off. But as hair splits, as it gets worn out, inevitably you're not going to be able to trim every single end because not every hair makes it this far. You may find yourself in a situation where you have split ends all the way up the hair strand. And you can see all the different lengths that are within here. And there are even some split ends on this mannequin. That's why I chose her, because her hair is trash. She's almost unusable for anything else, even though it's 100% natural hair. You can see that as I comb through it, all these little ends pop up. And if I'm able to zoom in clearly enough, you might even be able to see the actual split ends that are here. Your hair is made up of microscopic bundled fibers, all held together with essentially like protein and lipids, and then covered with overlapping hard scales called your cuticle. That's what this model is here. When that hair gets old, worn out, rubs up against things, is cut with the improper or dull tools, you end up getting split ends, not just on the end, but the hair will split all the way up the shaft. It'll break off on those split ends. It's kind of like an onion. Hear me out. The inside of your hair, the cortex, spongy fibers, microscopically glued together by proteins and lipids. The outer layer of your hair, the cuticle, is half a dozen to a dozen overlapping hard layers that sit all on top of one another. And once you start disrupting that cuticle layer, they almost start to peel back, kind of like the layers of an onion. Now, if you have proper technique, sharp tools, then we're going to cut through that hair nice and easy. That onion is going to look nice and preserved. We can go through here and do a nice little trim. And these slices, for the most part, want to stay together, which means that we're going to have a healthy product when we leave the salon. And we're going to be able to put this hair through quite a bit before it starts to want to break up. If you don't have sharp shears, clippers, improper razor technique, and you just bash your way through the cuticle, look what happens. Yeah, I cut it. If this were hair cuticle, which one is going to last longer? That's why when you get a bad razor cut, you might leave the salon with split ends. That's why when you cut your own hair with sewing or paper scissors, that your haircut's not going to last as long. So naturally, there are techniques that stylists have developed to help try to get those split ends throughout the hair strand, throughout the hair cut. One of the ways I've seen is to grab and gently twist the hair. And you'll notice that some of the shortest pieces pop out. And they might come through and selectively cut those. It's not bad, but it can be difficult to get every single split end. Look, I already see one I missed. Another technique is to use your comb or even your fingers and bend the hair. Roots of the hair going down, up over the finger, then through the next. And as you slowly pull down, you can see those little ends popping up. And if your fingers are all bent and crazy like mine, you might do a pretty good job popping all those little ends up. That's looking a little bit better. That takes a long time. And I am all for improving my life, improving my guest's life, doing something that's going to get them the best possible result. Every time I see a gadget tool like this, I am 100% skeptical and I am nearly convinced that it's not going to work. You can see all those different lengths in there. That was fast. And I cannot describe to you how much smoother it feels. It's just coming through so much easier. Literally the teeniest little shavings off of the hair. This is after like 4 sections. I feel like there's been a definite improvement after doing just these couple sections. This side compared to this side. That's on mostly straight hair. But 60% of the world has some sort of texture in their hair. And though she's barely a little wavy, I would like to try this on different textures of hair and see how it goes. I suspect that the hair needs to be blow dry straight, maybe even flat ironed in order for this to work effectively. But I'm not sure. Alicia's been on my shelf. She has a twin sister around here who's styled much better. So first things first, let's just take a little section that's been combed out, but it's kind of mostly straightish. I'll use a more curly section in a minute. The directions say to use clean, dry hair. They do instruct you to style it first. Nothing. Just the tiniest little amount, just to get those little uneven pieces. That's one of the toughest things about growing curly hair out is sometimes the ends get damaged within here before they ever get to make it to the full length. So I was thinking to myself, so I got to thinking, well, shoot, if this gadget really is as good as they would like you to think, this could really help people with textured hair get it to grow longer. Because if you're full of split ends, that's just hair that's going to continue to break off and split and not going to get any longer. I can see all these different lengths through here. Notice that shape, kind of like I did earlier, with the hair bending over the finger, then under the next one. That's exactly what's happening here. No matter how long I hold it on the section, it's not going to cut more than those little 1/4 inch pieces that are popping up. I feel like I can already see a difference between the hair that's been trimmed. How curly can we get? This is Cameron. He also needs a good style. I was saving him for another video. So I would describe him as like a 4A. If we're going to use Andre Walker's classification system. If I wanted to use the split ender on type 4 hair, even though I'm going to try this, combing it out like that, I would most likely want to flat iron or blow dry the hair straight first for a couple reasons. You never want to comb out type 4 hair without any moisture. The way I'm doing it dry like this, that's a bad idea. So I'm already asking for trouble by combing it out of its natural curl like this. Normally, if I'm detangling the proper way, It's going to be full of leave-in conditioner or moisturizer to help me detangle before we go shampoo. But let's see if it eats these curls up or if it does a good job. Nothing crazy, and those ends pop up just like they would with any other texture. Thank you, Cameron. We will do your hair one day soon. It's not often that a gadget, some sort of mechanical device, can come out and impress me, especially something from what I like to call like the infomercial set. I would actually use this in the salon. 100%. It does a very modest cut. Looks like exactly a quarter of an inch, like 6 millimeters, right off the end, and it's able to go through and bend the hairs more efficiently than I can. And rather than going through painstakingly cutting those sections and hoping all those ends pop out, I would much rather use a mechanical device and save my hands some repetitive motion. I liked it so much that I applied to become an affiliate with them, which means I've got a coupon code. If you want to check out the split ender for yourself, click on the link in the description. Tell them Cosmo Dad sent you. And this is coming to the salon with me.